Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10.
By the grace of God, he fell asleep in his own bed last night. So he normally either sleeps right on that wall.
Wall now marked by a bullet hole from one of several bullets that came through that family's walls. One landing under a pillow. Deputies call them victims of a guy ringing in the new year by firing off shots.
Not as cold, but still chilly. We do have a big-time warm-up as we get towards the weekend and beyond. We're going to pinpoint how warm it gets when the 80s return, coming up in a few minutes.
We're going into a new year, and I have to take off the first week because I have to now get my son reacclimated to a different school.
The new year finds hundreds of parents scrambling to find a new school. What we've just learned about a decades-old charter school that has suddenly shut down. 2025 shattered records on the Space Coast, and 2026 should do it again. The two mega rockets expected to take flight within months.
New year, new life, new us. Try to raise them right like we supposed to. You know, try to do what's best for little man.
And they are the proud parents of Orange County's first baby new year. Why the delivery caught them both by surprise. But we have to once again start now at 10 tonight with the cold, unfortunately. The good news, a warm-up is on the way. Good evening, I'm Mike Valenti. Thank you so much for joining us. Ginger and Matt are off tonight, but meteorologist Jonathan Kegas is here to walk us through one more cold night. Jonathan, it's warmer than it was last night.
It was, and that's a baby steps as we go forward here. Yeah, temperatures already right now into the 40s and low 50s outside. It's still a little chilly, but there's orange on this map, and this is tracking the change over the past 24 hours. So we're 6 degrees warmer in Orlando than we were at 10 o'clock last night, or almost 10 degrees warmer in Ocala. So the tide is turning a little bit, and by tomorrow morning, while you may still want the heavier jacket, you probably will. It's not going to be as bad. Emphasis on the as. We're at 46, a chilly 46 in Ocala, 44 in Denellen, 49 degrees in Mount Dora. That's after a really cold start this morning that put most of us again into the mid to upper 30s. We did slip, as expected, into the 20s in Ocala. Again, it will be cold tomorrow, but we will be running about 10 degrees warmer than where we were this morning. Again, taking it to the next several hours as we move forward to the overnight. We're back to the middle 40s by 1 o'clock, mid 40s by 4 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, again, chilly, just not as cold. We'll talk about when the 80s return. It's not that far off. They're on the 7-day forecast. We'll have that for you coming up at about 10:19, Mike.
Jonathan, thanks so much. Our other top story, new at 10 tonight, a family shares their scary start to the new year. They're woken up by gunfire, bullets fired not just through their walls, one landing under a pillow. Deputies say those shots came from a guy celebrating the new year by shooting his gun. It happened minutes into 2026 in the Daytona Park Estates neighborhood. That's south of International Speedway Boulevard, not far from DeLand Municipal Airport. News 6's Tylisa Hampton spoke to them tonight in that home.
This family tells me they were trying to sleep when they woke up to gunfire next to their bedroom on New Year's Day. They say hopefully something like this never happens again.
That's the one that went through right next to her pillow.
Minutes into the new year, a DeLand family of 4 was forced to take cover.
And I saw the bullet that was like right by my pillow with the bullet hole, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, a bullet just came through the house. It was hot, very hot.
This family, who did not want to be identified, says they heard a mix of fireworks and gunfire.
And then all of a sudden, like, you hear the last like couple of gunshots, and like the whole wall sort of like vibrated.
That vibration, bullets tearing through their home.
They came to see 5 that like entered the house but not exited through. So they're somewhere in the house, like in the foundation.
The Volusia County Sheriff's Office says the shots were from New Year's celebratory gunfire. Deputies arrested 21-year-old Axel Gomez, who, according to report, lives nearby and admitted he fired shots in the ground. Investigators say they found at least 30 shell casings.
Apology would go a long way. Please don't do it again, and I hope they learn their lesson.
Their sense of safety shattered.
We haven't really been back in the bedroom since.
Nope.
I've been trying to sleep, been up for 36 hours. I still can't go to sleep.
any holiday, when it comes to celebrating it with gunfire, what would you have to say to them?
Guns are more of like to protect yourself. They're not toys or a substitute for fireworks.
The family is thankful no one was hurt, especially their 7- and 4-year-old.
It was scary because he didn't know what was going on.
One detail still haunts the parents, their youngest who usually sleeps against this wall.
By the grace of God, he fell asleep in his own bed last night. So he normally either sleeps right on that wall.
A wall now marked by a bullet hole and a reminder how close this came to tragedy. Reporting for News 6, I'm Tylisa Hampton.
Tylisa, thank you. A Flagler County deputy is off the job tonight, at least for now, after being arrested early this morning. The Flagler County Sheriff's Office tells News 6 that detention deputy first class Sarah Radford was arrested overnight in Daytona Beach. They say Radford, pictured here during an event in 2022, was intoxicated late in the night after celebrating the new year when an argument broke out. Radford is charged with a misdemeanor domestic battery offense and has posted bond. The Sheriff's Office says once the criminal case is completed, their professional standards unit will conduct an internal investigation. Until then, Radford is suspended without pay. In a statement, they say Sheriff Rick Staley expects our employees to follow the law and conduct themselves in a manner that represents this agency well, even when they are off duty. Tonight, 4 people are now without a home because of a fire. This was the scene this morning along Sweetwater Country Club Place Drive. That's right off Wekiva Springs Road and the 436 in Orange County. Firefighters say the fire started outside, went up the wall, and then spread to the attic. Neighbors actually saw the fire and then warned the people living inside. They were able to get out, and fortunately, no one was hurt. Developing tonight, a deadly crash in Seminole County has neighbors calling for change. Troopers tell News 6 a car slammed into a tree this morning off Enclave Cove and Markham Woods Road in Lake Mary. FHP says speed was a factor in this crash. Neighbors shared with News 6 this incredible video after seeing the crash right outside their home. You can see there the car speeding through the neighborhood shortly before the crash. Neighbors tell us there are far too many crashes in this area.
I think this is just a strange curve. It's 45-mile-per-hour zone, and it comes up pretty quick, and then all of a sudden, and the scary thing is that Heathrow Elementary and Markham Middle School are just right around the corner.
I hate speed bumps, but I think there needs to be more signs telling them what their speed is, and maybe even slow it down, because they're going to go where they want to go.
FHP has not yet identified the 41-year-old man who died in the crash. We'll, of course, bring you updates on this story once we learn more. Now, the new year will mean new schools for more than 200 charter school students. Today, parents are scrambling after learning Legends Academy is abruptly shutting down. Now, we told you early this week the board voted to close. Your Orange County community correspondent Jarrell Baker spoke to impacted families.
My name is Shania Simmons.
More than 200 students like 8th grader Shania Simmons at Legends Academy Charter School in Paramore are shocked and devastated.
It makes me feel really upset and really confused because they didn't really give us an explanation on why they're shutting the school down.
The board of directors for Legends Academy voted to permanently shut down the school during a virtual meeting on Monday.
It feels heartless. So our voice didn't matter at all.
We've been here for multiple years. She's been here for 6. I've been here for 5. And we've made multiple memories and friends at the school.
Now parents are scrambling to find a new campus for their kids to continue the school year after winter break.
It's been extremely difficult. We're going into a new year and I have to take off the first week because I have to now get my son reacclimated to a different school in the middle of his 8th grade year.
And instead of doing our Christmas time, it's like we have to find different schools for us to go to.
In a statement to News 6, the board says, quote, after careful review of the school's financial condition and long-term liabilities, the board of directors made the difficult decision to close the school due to unsustainable financial challenges, end quote. According to IRS tax statements we found on ProPublica, the school, formerly known as the Knapp Ford Community School, reported spending hundreds of thousands of dollars more than its revenue for several years, including its most recent filing in the tax year 2023 by nearly $720,000.
He stated that we had issues with finances for some years. But as an active parent, that was never brought to our attention.
Parents say they were told for months that the school would be moving to a new building off of C.R. Smith Street.
This is a heartbreak because we never expect that. And our goal is to move to the next campus.
The school has been a part of the community for more than 2 decades and was established in honor of the late Knapp Ford, a former Orlando City Council member who, along with his wife, pushed to bring the school to Paramore.
She strived to keep their legacy of the school alive, and to see her just as devastated as us, we know that this will be a hurt felt for many, many years to come.
In the school statement, the board also says that the decision was not made lightly and does not diminish the impact the school has had on generations of families. The statement goes on to say that the board is working closely with the Orange County Schools District to help support families as they plan their next steps. In Paramore, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
The future of space looking busier than ever in the new year. This time last night, we told you SpaceX congratulated its team for carrying out 170 launches nationwide in the year 2025. 101 of them right here on our space coast, just months into 2026. NASA's aiming to send its largest rocket to the moon and back with humans on board. SpaceX plans to fly the only rocket even more powerful than NASA's SLS. Your Cape Canaveral community correspondent, James Sparvero, shows us the big picture for a big year in space.
NASA vows to land astronauts on the moon before the end of President Trump's second term, and 2026 will be critical to achieving that monumental goal. From left to right, Jeremy Hansen, Victor Glover, Reed Wiseman, and Christina Cook could only have to wait one more month before Artemis II makes the astronauts the first to fly around the moon in more than 50 years. If successful, the four, pictured at their dress rehearsal 2 weeks ago, paved the way for a crew to land on the moon during Artemis III.
Go Super Heavy, go Starship.
Their landing vehicle is the only rocket bigger than the Artemis SLS. Recently, the Space Force told me, like Artemis II, we could also see SpaceX's Starship launch here within months. It would be the first Starship launch in Florida.
Ignition and liftoff.
2025 was the first year more than 100 rockets launched from the Space Coast.
The days of old where we were putting up 10, 15, maybe 20 launches in a calendar year are behind us.
Colonel Brian Chapman, the director of the range, told me triple digits are expected again in 2026. He says to support the record pace, upgrades are being made to everything from launch pads to roads to communication lines.
That's all setting the stage for what we have going forward to be able to support increased capacity and throughput for launch providers out here.
And you may have been following our coverage about one of those providers, Blue Origin, and how it wants to seek a permit from Florida's DEP to release rocket wastewater into the Indian River Lagoon. There's now a public hearing where you can weigh in, and I'll put the time and place in the new year on clickorlando.com. In Brevard County, I'm your Cape Canaveral community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
It's a January 1st surprise of the very best kind. But this baby new year caught a local mom and dad off guard.
Did y'all know that y'all would be having him on New Year's Day?
No, not at all.
Their son became the first baby born in Orange County in 2026. And you'll meet our area's other New Year's babies.
If I'm 70 years old, could jump into this water, come on.
That young 7-year-old, one of many who started off the new year with a frigid splash. And at the same local park, we're seeing something that has not happened since the 1970s. And at another local park where you can see hundreds of manatees huddling together to stay warm. Why they return to that spot year after year. You're watching News 6 at 10 live on a Thursday night, covering Altamont Springs, Windermere, and all of Central Florida.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Central Florida Honda Dealers.
Now on News 6, the new year brings a new start for many, and at least 3 families in the I-4 corridor rang in 2026 with the cries of their newborns. Just outside our viewing area and moments after midnight, Advent Health, Heart of Florida, welcomed Irish Escobar. The 6-pound, 2-ounce girl is doing well in Davenport with mom Jenny and dad Oscar. Your Orange County community correspondent, Tylisa Hampton, spoke to the parents of Orange County's first baby new year, a birth that came by surprise.
Oh, baby, what a way to start the new year.
It's a new year, new life, new us. Try to raise them right.
Did y'all know that y'all would be having him on New Year's Day?
No, not at all.
To their surprise, Tara Williams and Dontre Smith New Year's Eve did not end with typical fireworks, but instead in the hospital.
When I went into Ocala, it was just kind of to check everything to make sure that he was okay, because his movement wasn't like it normally was. Within 3 hours, they're telling me I'm being transported to Orlando, and then everything just kind of took off from there.
Then at 23 minutes after midnight, New Year's Day, their baby boy came into the world at Advent Health Orlando. The hospital chain says he is one of the first babies born in Central Florida.
Amiri Kingston Smith.
Weighing 7 pounds, 2 ounces, and is 19 inches long.
He looks more like her. He got my nose, he got her lips and chin.
The new year traditionally wrapped around resolutions, but instead, their new chapter of parenthood.
And now that he's here, it's just a whole other scenario. Just excited and happy.
Reporting for News 6, I'm Tylisa Hampton.
Very cute. Welcome to the world, little Amiri. And at Orlando Health, Winnie Palmer Hospital for Women and Babies welcomed their baby new year at 12:41 a.m. That's Haley Vargas, 7 pounds, 10 ounces, seen here with mom Rosary and dad Yessie. In honor of this special occasion, the Central Florida Diaper Bank is donating a year's worth of diapers to the family. In another corner of Central Florida, people welcome the new year with a splash. Despite downright cold conditions, they took the plunge into Deleon Springs this morning. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez asked why that's how they wanted to start 2026.
It was a serene, cold morning at Deleon Springs. The golden steam coming off the 72-degree water during a chilly morning in the 40s created a picturesque day, perfect for a dunk.
Oh my God, it was so cold. I've been swimming in the springs for 70 years, so this is a way to jump in and get rid of the old and start the new.
The Friends of Deleon Springs State Park organized the dunk in hopes of helping people kickstart their year.
It's definitely a good way to kind of reset your body. You kind of shock it with the cold air, and anyway, people always have a good time.
From the dunk to a pancake eating contest,
go!
People get a chance to connect with each other and nature.
So many people don't know that this is like there are things that happen at the state parks and at the springs, like even at Blue Springs. Like it's such a good thing to come and do things like this.
This year's event was extra special because park rangers and resident volunteers worked hard to fix this wheel. It's right here inside of the old Sugar Mill Pancake House, and it hasn't turned like this since the 70s. What's it like to see the wheel turning?
I was in the water, and she said the wheel turned, and I turned around, and I'm like, that hasn't turned for a long time.
And if you want to start off your new year at the spring, you can always take a dip in 2027.
If I'm 70 years old, can jump into this water, come on.
In Deleon Springs, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
And here's a sign of the colder temperatures. Nearly 700 manatees starting off the new year at Blue Springs State Park in Volusia County. They're known to huddle together in the winter months to stay warm because the springs are a constant 72 degrees year-round. Look for more manatees overnight and tomorrow. But meteorologist Jonathan Kegas tells us, so warm-up is on the way. I hope so, Jonathan.
Yeah, if you're not a fan of the colder stuff, it's definitely going to make a run for the 70s and the mid-70s by the weekend, and then the 80s by the end of the upcoming work week. We're hanging around 50 right now in New Smyrna, so we are certainly warmer than where we've been over the past couple of nights. Still jacket-worthy. Mount Dora, good evening. We are back to the upper 40s, 49 in Groveland. Bushnell, we're checking in at 46 degrees right now. Here's a live look under a clear sky in downtown Orlando with our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Skycam tonight. Air temperatures back to the low 50s under that clear sky. The breeze out of the west, at about 5 miles an hour. Now, here's the deal. Tomorrow morning, it is still going to be cold. Temperatures for the most part in the low to mid 40s across the board. A few of us in Marion County going to sneak back into the upper 30s. We're at 41 in the Villages. Palm Coast, we will be at 42. The rebound, though, comes our way starting tomorrow. We're still a notch or two below where we should be for this time of the year, but we're going to get back to closer to 70, if not even jump into the lower 70s. The other thing you're going to notice, I think, a few extra clouds as we start to bring in some extra warmth. The moisture also going to increase, but that'll put us back to the low 70s in Kissimmee. Bushnell, good evening. We'll start things off in the 40s and then make our way back into the low 70s. High pressure going to warm us up even further. It's going to take a trip back down to the Bahamas. It's going to shift our wind direction to a southwesterly component for the weekend and pump our temperatures back to the mid-70s. Here's the deal, though. You see the white on your screen. That's the extra cloud cover. There's another cold front approaching. It's a weak one. This is not going to take our temperatures down like the last one did, but you'll notice rain chances, especially across the northern tier of Florida. That's going to sink on down towards central Florida by the second half of the evening, and we will, too, see a couple of downpours try to push through late Saturday night and in the first few hours of Sunday morning. Here's Sunday morning at 7 o'clock. Notice most of the rain at that time pushing toward Lake Okeechobee. It's not going to be a ton of rain, but the rain that does come looks like it's going to be pretty much when you're sleeping or late into the evening, starting late into the evening on Saturday and be out of here by daybreak on Sunday. In terms of the warmth, this is the outlook in the temperature department as we move through the first week of January and get towards January 11th. This big, bright rust color across the eastern third of the country. That means there is high confidence that we are going to see above normal temperatures. And you see that here in the 10-day outlook. Over the next couple of days, low to mid-70s once we get to the weekend. Next week, and especially by the latter stages of next week, look at this. Low to mid-80s come back down the pipeline as we roll into next weekend. So we are going to completely flip the script here as we move forward in the next couple of days to the next 7 to 10 days. In terms of 2025, the official numbers obviously in with us heading towards the new year. In the new year, Orlando and Sanford both reaching the top 10, 10th in fact, for the warmest years on record. So it was quite warm, especially, of course, into the summertime. 74 degrees on Saturday, 73 on Sunday. Then there are the 80s pushing it on Wednesday, lower 80s on Thursday.
New year, new you? How do you plan to spend 2026?
Just went to the courthouse, the Orange County courthouse, and got married. It was his choice to get married today.
Asked people at Lake Eola about their resolutions and plans for 2026.
So I'm coming to downtown Orlando just to see the people. The water is beautiful, and then so beautiful ducks. I'm waiting for the New Year's too, for the new year.
The weather, the scenery, just trying to get better every day.
Just reflecting and thinking about family, and this lake, it reminds me of my parents that are gone, but it reminds me of all the happy memories in my life. So I love coming here to reflect.
One more, 1, 2, and 3.
Just went to the courthouse, the Orange County courthouse, and got married.
I kind of want to do a creative one. Are you guys just looking out?
It was his choice to get married today.
I don't have much by way of resolutions, I gotta admit. Yeah, we're down here to watch the Michigan football team today in the Citrus Bowl with a little bit of sun and, like I said, a little nicer weather down here.
Your hair is in your face. Okay, pose.
2025 is the year that we want to look back where we began. 50 years ago, I came to America as a 10-year-old little girl. Speak no English at all.
2025, what is good for me? So I have a good job. I just got hired at JW Marriott Hotel.
God was very good for me, 2025.
And then I feel blessed for that too.
But I do like to ring in the new year just by watching the ball drop in New York City, and then always have certain goals and aspirations.
More prosperity. More fortune.
Losing weight and looking for new opportunities.
Just building together,
together.
starting a family.
Yeah.
So we just hope that the new year not only bring peace and prosperity to the U.S., but also to the other country, especially Vietnam.
Washington, D.C., there have been some pretty significant changes politically this past year, and I expect 2026 will bring some more, which will be interesting to see in the Capitol.
I see the country, everything is going good.
50 years after moving forward, we had a beautiful home for healthy kids, and we are living in one of the greatest countries on earth.
I can't wait to see the new year, what is going to be, what's coming for us, but I feel a good vibe. I feel something good is coming for 2026.
Remember, you can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus. It's free to download on your smart TV or streaming device. Have a good night.